Hello and welcome. In this special Just for My English channel, we are going to talk about, is Russia at war? And does it matter if a nation declares war? And can there even be legal acts inside of an illegal war like Russia's? Russia is calling the war in Ukraine a special military operation. So I have commenters in my last situational picture where I talk about Russia's boarding of a neutral ship. They claim that it cannot be legal because Russia is not at war. That does not matter. Historic precedent since World War II shows that barely any war is declared anymore. Often neither side declares war. Sometimes one side declares and the other one doesn't. That doesn't change the fact that as soon as two organized militaries, preferably state-organized militaries, fight against each other, we have a war. This, whether or not it was declared, doesn't change anything, and it doesn't change anything about the legal understanding in international context. And this even makes sense. If the question whether a nation declares war or not changes whether international rules apply, this would mean a loophole for every nation that is at war and doesn't want to apply the Geneva Convention. They could just say, no, we are not at war, so everyone we capture does not get the protections by the Geneva Convention. This simple example makes it obvious that there is no way out simply claiming someone is not at war. If he is actually at war, then the rules of war apply. That includes I think it's Den Haag rules of land warfare. I just have the German translation in my head. The Geneva Convention, and obviously also in regards to the international laws regarding sea warfare, including the established rules for the established price rules. The next question is, can Russia have legal acts inside of an illegal war? Now, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is without any doubt an illegal aggression. Period. There does not need the legal side of this is undoubtedly clear, and it was acknowledged by the the United Nations member states. It was acknowledged by every place where Russia didn't have veto rights. This is a simple fact, but does that mean Russia cannot have legal acts inside of a legal war? It does that. There is no connection between either, and that's even in Ukraine's interest. The example is very simple. If Russia, inside of an illegal war, cannot do right anymore, then it has no incentive to do right. We can take the famous, fantastic movie Heat as an example, where in the beginning, one of them shoots the guard of an armored transport, and after 2 or 3 seconds of hesitation, they execute all the others as well. Because basically, we already shot one, so we are up for murder, so there is no reason to leave anyone alive. If this is the understanding that inside of an illegal war, there can be no legal target, no legitimate target, there can be no legal conduct of warfare, then there's no reason to conduct legal acts of warfare. So neither applies in this regard. Whether or not Russia is the aggressor state, it is. Whether or not Russia's war is illegitimate, it is. Whether or not Russia has declared war, it hasn't. In either way, the rules of law, the rules of warfare apply to both sides. Both sides are at war, and if the price rules are an established rule of warfare at sea, then it applies to Russia as well, whether or not they have declared war. The only restrictions they have is they can't enter neutral territorial waters, because that would probably be an act of war as well, like the Altmark incident as an historic example where the British entered neutral waters in World War II. This would be an example to capture the Altmark and free, I think, 300-400 Allied seamen on the Altmark in Norway. So what cannot be done is do those acts inside of neutral territorial waters. But if that ship was boarded outside of Turkish, outside of Bulgarian, outside of Romanian territorial waters, boarding it should be, by any normal understanding, perfectly legal, and that wouldn't be any different here. Whether Russia has declared war or not, and whether Russia is the aggressor state or not, that doesn't change anything. As said, it seemed to be necessary in this regard, as there is a lot of understanding, and I don't really want to comment on every single comment in this regard. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment if you think you want to add something to it. And if you're new here, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. That's it from me for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back.